In this video, I will discuss quartz watches and their issues. Recently, I encountered a significant and costly problem with quartz watches that you should be aware of. Quartz watches are a polarizing topic among watch enthusiasts. One group despises what they consider soulless quartz watches, while another group has no objections to them. I belong to the latter group. I am perfectly fine with quartz watches and sometimes even prefer them. Over my long journey as a watch enthusiast, I've collected many different quartz watches, from the Moonswatch mission to Jupiter to the Cartier Tank Must Large, which is now mostly worn by my wife. In fact, she owns only quartz watches. So between both of us, we have a substantial collection of quartz watches. Quartz watches can be fun, easy to wear, and tough. These qualities make them perfect as beater watches. For example, my Tag Heuer Aqua Racer Quartz is a frequent companion for skiing or as a spare watch on trips. The Longines Dolce Vita is my dress watch, which I wear occasionally, but it's always ready with the correct time when I need it. Take this Timex Q Snoopy 70th anniversary for instance. It's a fun watch, but I wear it very occasionally. That's where I find quartz watches useful. Watches you like to have in your collection, but don't wear often. Another advantage of quartz watches is their low maintenance. They don't require costly servicing, just change the battery occasionally. However, there is an issue that might cost you more, which I will discuss later. To me, two of the best qualities of quartz watches are their durability and low maintenance cost. It's easier to change a battery every 2 or 3 years than to perform a full movement maintenance every 5 or 6 years. However, there are some downsides to this seemingly perfect picture. The problem lies with battery replacement. First, if you have many quartz watches like I do, replacing batteries can quickly become a hassle. That's why I've often had several quartz watches lying around for months with dead batteries. Over time, that number grew. Another issue is finding a trusted person to replace the batteries. A poor quality battery can destroy your watch and lead to expensive repairs, which is something I experienced. Some people replace batteries themselves, but it's not something I want to risk. For my more expensive watches like my Tag Heuer, I use the Tag Service Center. I did this once with my older blue dial Aqua Racer. The other black dial model is still running on the factory battery, which is surprising as it's been 4 years already. For watches like Longines, Tissot, Bulova and Timex, I used to go to a department store for battery replacement. It was fine until I took a few watches with dead batteries to a new place. I brought 3 watches. They replaced the batteries in 2, but one watch had a problem. The battery leaked and damaged the movement, requiring a full replacement. It was my wife's Tissot, and the cost was almost as much as the watch itself. It turns out that leaving a dead battery inside a watch for a long period of time can cause it to leak, leading to serious damage. In this case, a cheap battery was the main reason. I took on almost all our watches with unchanged batteries for inspection, and while most were fine, 2 others had the same issue, a Raymond Weil and a Longines. I paid around $300 per watch for the service, which included installing new quartz movements. So you either replacing the whole movement or just throwing watches out. In some cases, like the women's Tissot, the cost was almost the same as the original price of the watch. These were valuable and expensive lessons for me. The first lesson is to find a trusted place for battery replacement. I'd rather pay a bit more to keep my watch safe. In fact, I currently have my old Longines Dolce Vita due for battery service and I'm sending it to the Swatch Group Service Center to see the cost. I received a FedEx box from them for this purpose. I remember paying for battery replacement at the Tag Official Service Center on my Tag Heuer Aqua Racer. Although it took some time and cost $100, the battery has been running for almost 4 years and the service center performed a water resistance test and replaced some gaskets, all included in the price. The second lesson is not to let a quartz watch sit with a dead battery for a long time. So that's the story I wanted to share with you. I still love and enjoy my quartz watches, but maybe, just maybe, I will reduce their number in the collection, because I still have a couple of watches waiting for the battery to be replaced.